A federal grand jury indicted New Orleans City Council member Jason Williams on 11 tax fraud-related counts. The indictment accuses Williams and Nicole Burdett, an attorney in his law office who also handled administrative duties, of conspiring together to figure out ways to fraudulently lower the amount of taxes Williams had to pay. The indictment alleges the two inflated Williams' business expenses for the Williams law firm by $720,000 over 5 years. Prosecutors claim the two also did not fill out the legally required tax forms for cash payments they received from clients over $10,000. According to that indictment, it led Williams to pay $200,000 less in taxes than he should have. So what does it mean for Williams' run for DA? Our Mike McDaniel has the story.
It's 9 pages, but filled with 11 felony counts against New Orleans City Council member-at-large Jason Williams.
Anything is serious when you get charged with a felony. When you get charged with 11 felonies, it's considerably more serious, not only to your political career, but to your professional career.
Former U.S. Attorney Harry Rosenberg says this indictment could put both careers in jeopardy. Williams, who's a defense attorney, is a declared candidate for Orleans Parish District Attorney. According to the federal indictment, which alleges conspiracy, fraud, and failure to file reports of cash payments, the government alleges Williams defrauded the IRS more than $200,000, all related to his law firm, Jason Rogers Williams and Associates, stretching back to 2014. Included in that conspiracy charge is Nicole Burdett, an attorney at Williams' firm.
You also wonder whether there's ultimately going to be an incentive for her to cooperate against him in a conspiracy count.
At the beginning of June, Williams called the news about the investigation into his taxes nonsense, saying it was politically motivated, and blamed a CPA for any filing errors.
This is not investigations of criminal activity. This is old school, dirty New Orleans politics.
Friday, Williams' attorney released a statement about the indictment saying, "We are disappointed that the government has chosen to indict Jason Williams for following the advice of his tax preparer." The statement goes on to question the timing, less than a month before campaigning begins.
It is kind of unique, the fact that they've indicted this individual just several weeks prior to qualifying.
Political scientist Edward Chivernak says it's unusual for the federal government to charge someone in the middle of a campaign in order to not influence politics. With this indictment, he says it'll be much harder for Williams to get the support he needs for a successful campaign.
It's going to be much harder to convince people to contribute money, because that's what you're going to have to do if you want to run for office.
Williams was seen as a major threat to incumbent Leon Cannizzaro, and it remains to be seen how much the charges will impact that.
You're innocent until proven guilty, and he'll qualify to run. I suspect that he'll qualify to run, just basically to put out the aura that he is innocent, that there really is no wrongdoing on his part.
Mike McDaniel, Eyewitness News.
This afternoon, the attorney for Nicole Burdett released a statement saying, in part, quote, "We are disappointed and baffled that the government has chosen to indict an honest lawyer like Nicole Burdett for doing nothing other than forwarding her firm's books and records to someone that she and Williams both believed to have been a certified public accountant. Nicole is innocent of these charges and looks forward to her day in court." To read more on the indictment, just head over to our website, WWLTV.com.